Hello, my very short personal introduction to Time and the Gods by Lord Dunsany, Irish fantasy writer, considered a major influence on Tolkien, Lovecraft, Ursula K. Le Guin, and others. This is the next book in his books. I've been reading The Gods of Pegana, which I think was 1905. And this was published the next year, which is Time and the Gods, which is 1906. It's illustrated by his preferred artist, and the originals of which are still at Dunsany Castle. The title is thought to have been influenced by Algernon Swinburne, who wrote the line, "Time and the gods are at strife," in his 1866 poem, Hymn to Proserpine. So there's always something further down. I'm curious to see if this is a continuation of The Gods of Pegana, which was very much kind of written in kind of the King James English, very kind of high diction. Very much felt like this is like if Tolkien had published parts of his Silmarillion, his kind of index, his the backwards, the back kind of cosmology of his works going forward, The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. If he'd published the index first, it very much had that feel of like talking about that. Though we do get a peek in at least in the Gods of Pegana, of a lot of the charlatan prophets and priests who claim to stand between the people and these gods, which are completely indifferent to human beings, to the point where the god amongst gods doesn't even pay attention to anyone. They just sleeps. And the second that god, Munayud Sushai, wakes up, then that's the end of the universe when they wake up. It's got very much kind of a feel of the deist idea of a god that just sort of set the universe spinning and then had nothing to do with it after that. But this is more, you're a dream, and when I wake up, everything just goes away. So yeah, let's get into Time and the Gods and see if it's more ground level-ish, or if it is more of more the kind of the high level of, oh boy, let's hear more about gods. Either way, I decided I'd just go right into this one because The Gods of Pegana was a short book. This one is, don't know if it even says, don't have anything saying how big it is, other than, it's a number of stories. It doesn't look that big. If the chapters are as small as the Pegana ones, it will not take any time whatsoever to read. Though will be a challenge because it is written in high diction and with made up fantasy names. This is maybe an text for that, of made up fantasy names where, oh God, I have to figure out what pronunciation to give on these things and probably butcher it the whole way. So yeah, that's Time and the Gods by Lord Dunsany.